Thank you, Alejandro. Yes, we are indeed with Fabiano Caruana. Fabiano, first of all, you are playing black. How did you approach this game?
Yeah, I felt like I would take it solidly. I mean, Jeffery is a player who almost always goes for a fight. It's not in his nature to back down. So I figured that we would get a fight, maybe I would get some chances, but if it's a draw, then it's also a fair result. And I felt like I was under pressure out of the opening. He knew the line quite well. I didn't, and
let's look through the game, actually. Yasser?
So we have the position after e5. Already at this point, I was feeling that white was for choice. After move bishop c4, we're looking at bishop f5. Jeffery actually played the move queen c2. And take it away, Fabi. You were saying that you were feeling under pressure.
Yeah, I was expecting bishop c4 too, or at least thinking that was the most natural move.
Yep.
But after bishop g4, very often my bishop will come back either to f7 or queen d7 and bishop to e6 later. And once I trade this bishop off, I don't have any problems.
Okay.
So I think his plan was more dangerous.
Queen c2.
And I think it was some sort of, maybe not direct preparation, but he knew the ideas of the position. And this was the main idea, that the bishop on e4 is so annoying for me. It can't really get kicked out because f5 will always crumble my center. So yeah, so I'm saddled with this weak king side. On the other hand, his only real pawn break is d4, and once he does that, very often it leads to a lot of simplifications.
Were you at any point concerned about the pawn break via h4, h4, h5?
No, not really, because I figured that anytime he plays well, let's say he does it before castling, which is, I think he was playing rook d1 with the idea to stay flexible with his king, so he might have the option of h4. But let's say he does it here, and I can play even queen d7, and h5, g5, my bishop will go to d6, I'll castle short. Yeah, my king is a bit weaker, but he took a lot of time, and once he castles short, his h-pawn will be a weakness. And now he also has to contend with some g4 stuff, so I wasn't worried about this at all. I didn't expect it. I thought how he played, just maybe he should have castled instead of rook d1, keeping the rook more flexible. Maybe he'll go to c1, because we saw later in the game that his rook went back to c1 and he effectively lost a tempo. So if he had done this and maybe rook c1 here, it would have probably been a better version.
Something like,
yeah,
like
or
this.
queen b1 like he played, just trying to prepare d4.
You're right.
It's maybe a tiny bit better for white, but it's not. It also wasn't overly concerning.
Mm. It was a nice moment exactly here, and we really liked your move. Where is it? D4. Excuse me. It was the move right here, c4. We thought that was a very important move, that if you do take on d4, that white gets something.
Yeah, it will be a bit unpleasant if I take everything and
right.
My king side is a bit weak. But when I played queen f7, I had this idea in mind.
Of playing c4.
And the main point is if after c4 he plays, let's say, rook f to d1, trying to play d5, win a piece, I'll play knight e7. I happily sacrifice the b7 pawn because my piece has just become so active. Rook b8. See, I'll regain the pawn most likely. And his pieces are kind of bad suddenly. Bishop on c3, the knight on f3. So here black would probably be fighting for an advantage. That's why I think we saw what happened in the game.
Exactly. And what happened was Jeffery played d5, and everything just essentially came off, Fabi.
The cleaning lady.
Yeah, and draw agreed. In terms of your experience against Jeffery in rapid chess, how do you guys match up?
We haven't had too much experience playing against each other. I only remember one Rapid and Blitz tournament here in St. Louis.
That's what I was thinking too.
I don't remember the results.
A lot of chats.
And then we played some games in the online rapid tournaments that have been organized recently.
Right.
But those are very few games. So we're still relative newcomers to this rapid chess against each other.
Well, go get your prep, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fabi. It is time to see the Ray Robson game. We have to go straight into it against Levon Aronian as we see